on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome once again to Mindalia live streaming. Today we have the company of Dr. Cecilia Banchero. She is a psychiatrist, psychoanalyst. She has studies in metaphysics, in biocodification. Well, she has a very interesting background and curriculum on her back, and we're going to be talking with her about how to make the abundance of money flow into your life. Before starting with her, I just want to remind you that Mindalia is an international non-profit organization and that you can collaborate with us very simply just by liking our videos, subscribing to our channels, following in our different platforms. You can even share our content with people that you think that may benefit of what we have been sharing here today and every day. It is my pleasure to introduce you and to welcome Dr. Cecilia Banchero. How are you doing today?
I'm so happy to be here with you, really. I love Mindalia. Mindalia is my family. And I'm so happy to speak about a complex subject, which is money, wealth. And I want to begin with my own history, my own biography. I was born in a country when you are just great, you have money, and just in 1 minute, you lose everything. I was in a bankruptcy 3 times in my life. Even though I was a doctor, I am a doctor. And that day I was working as a psychiatrist. But Argentina is a very, very hard country to live. And when I was 40 years old, I get in touch with a great metaphysic teacher. I had money just to pay my debts. I never have a poor condition of living. It's not true. I have my house, I have a car, but I have the money, the money to pay the debts. I have no possibility of traveling, of buying issues that I love for my kids. I couldn't buy anything I really love for my kids. And just in a sudden, I get in touch with a great metaphysics teacher in Argentina, Ana Castro. And I am a very good student, even though I didn't believe a word of what she said at the beginning. She said that you can make money using certain words, certain phrases, painting mandalas, and she taught me a great sentences. You think, you believe, you create. And I am very scientific, and I didn't have faith in what she said, but I am a good student. So I decided to do whatever she told us, she taught us, and I began to go to their courses. She has a precipitation course. I was there in her academy once a week, 1 hour and a half, and all of a sudden, in just 20, 30 days, suddenly I was working as a psychiatrist. That was my great income. And one patient of mine came and said he was very wealthy, and he told me, I want to pay all this year in advance. And in half an hour, he called his secretary, and just in half an hour, all the money I need to pay my debts, and all the money I need to travel, all the money I need to buy things to my kids was just in front of me. So I said, I need to study this technique. There must be something. And this is the first technique I began to study more than 20 years ago, referring to making money, which is when you really, first of all, you have to think. The first thing she told me, Cecilia, you have to think, what do you relate money with? You relate money with evilness, with bad people, with corruption, with money makes you sick. If you have money, you will die because you will get an illness. If you have money, you won't have love. So write a list of all the negative things, beliefs you have about money. So I write it down, all the list, and I was surprised because I had such a bad belief about money. And she said, well, you have to work on that list because that list is the reason you don't have money. When you understand that there are good people with money, bad people with money, that money is an energy created by God, and you need to relate it with the money in a different way, money will come to you. And she said, you also have to write down all the good things referring to money. And I related to money with traveling, with studies, with courses, with a gift to the people I love. So this is the first exercise she gave me. The second exercise she gave me, she told me, right now, I want you to write down what is abundance for you? What is wealthness for you? What do you have to want in life? Because the other day, whenever I appear in a program or in a show, people ask me, are you rich? Do you have lots of money? And that's another issue you need to think. For me, being rich is to have a lovely house with a car and have a good health, have the love of my husband. I have a marriage of 35 years. Having my kids being okay. And for another people, being wealthy is to have $20 million in a bank. I mean, you can't set richness or wealthness. It's not the same for everyone. For me, I don't need so many things. If I gave right now, someone putting $20 million in my bank account, it won't change anything to me. I would think, what will I do with that money to help people? Because I don't want to change my house for a bigger. Yeah, all the time. But the thing is that you need to write down what do you want in your life, not what society says that means to be rich. Because for me, having my house and having my car and being happy is to be rich. So you have to write down what do you want. How much money do you want to get in the bank every month? Which is the best job for you? If you need a couple, write down that you want a couple. So my teacher taught me that I have to clearly tell the universe, which is a living being. For God's sake, the universe is a living being. You have to tell the universe what you want, what you need, what you deserve, and write down whatever you want. Second task. First, what you related money with. Second, what you really want. Third exercise she gave us, which was really hard. I have to write down all the fears I have related to money. And I was absolutely surprised because I keep on writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And I was fear of everything, of losing the money, of not having enough money, of dying in poverty, of being successful, because this is a great, great fear. I was fear of having much money because this means responsibility, time taken away from me. So you have to write down all the fears you have according to money. But remember that if you have fear to poverty, you will have the exact amount of fear to greatness and to success and to having lots of money, to be rich, wealthy. So I wrote down all my fears. And then she told me, right now, tell me about your self-esteem. What do you think you deserve in life? What do you think you are to deserve getting lots of money from the universe? Oh, that was terrible for me, because I found that I thought that I didn't deserve so much, that the others deserve, but not me. And I realized that I couldn't tolerate having money. Having money in my hands.
I want to interrupt you right there. I just need to, because I want to find out, why is it that we are so scared of letting go and actually surrendering and accomplishing things we know we can accomplish? Why are we so afraid and scared of success and money and just being plenty? What is holding us back from that?
So many things to answer. We are afraid of competition. We are afraid of envy. We are afraid that people will leave us alone. People will use you. If you have money, then people won't pay attention to you, will pay attention to your money. There are so many things about, and remember, Mirna, that it is very easy to the conscious mind to tolerate being a loser. But being a successful people, if you are not born in a place, in a community where success living and getting lots of money, it's a wealth thing, it will be very hard for you to have money. Because if you were born in a family which constantly says money, if you get money you are corrupted, maybe she did something with a man, that's why she gets so much money, and money makes you a bad person, it's very difficult to be able to tolerate. There are so many things about envy, beliefs of society. Right now, you can in Freudian times, you can't speak about sex. Right now, what you can't speak or you can't ask someone is how much money someone gets every month from their job, whatever. And money is a forbidden subject, because no one can ask you. If I ask you, how much money do you gain every month? What would you think about me? Exactly. It's a forbidden task.
We would say, like, why does she care? Like, I don't have to disclose that information. That's private.
Of course. It's the most private information in the planet right now. Everybody speak about sex. What happened with it's common. You go to a meeting and everyone speak about sex, probably with their husband, but not about money. Money, it's a forbidden task. And as I was telling you, when I began to think about how much money Cecilia deserved, I realized that I didn't deserve much. That's why I didn't have much. And whenever I have much money, I have it's very important. You have to think about how your mother and your father deals with money. If they accept money as a lovely thing in your life, you won't have problem. But in my case, I have my father was a millionaire, but money brings so much pain in my house. My father and my parents get divorced when I was young, and for me, money means suffering, means treating badly. My father treated really bad according to money. He cheated on my money, my mother's money. So for me, money was a hard task. And so I have to make a reborn. I have to construct myself, speaking about money. I won't be my father. I won't cheat people with money. I won't destroy someone with money. I have to say, what kind of person do you want to be if you have lots of money? But I have to do a great inner work about what I've seen in my childhood. And what I really think about money. And I have to say, no, Cecilia, you deserve the best in this planet. You deserve to have a great life, great love, a great amount of money, because you won't be a bad person if you have money. That's the third task my teacher gave me. But it was not a work of 1 day, of 2 hours. It was a hard work. I have to paint and write. I would say years. It was a work of years, trying to work. Oh, again, I am a fear of being poor. Oh, again, I think I don't deserve money. Oh, again, this fear appears in me. And I have to, that's what I want to tell the people. You have to, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be sure that money won't be away from your life, you have to go on working every day. What's going on with me now? How I'm standing in front of the money? Do I deserve money right now? Do I feel secure that nothing is going to be away from me, because God is going to take care of me? It's a constant work, and that's what the people that don't understand. It's not 1 day work.
Because we spend so long with the non-deserving thoughts, with the non-deserving sensation and principles, and that it's like our whole core, the basis of our mental structure are there in the I don't deserve it, and I better live with whatever little things I have. that's what makes it so hard for us to gain the discipline of accepting and knowing that I deserve more, right?
Right. That's okay. That's why it's important. For example, she taught us to repeat one sentences. I am rich. I am rich. Or I am wealthy. I am wealthy. And I remember that I spent all day long when I was walking through the street going to a consulting room. I repeated. When I go to the supermarket, I repeated, I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I deserve all the richness in the world. I am wealthy. What did she teach me? To teach your mind to have positive things, to attract the good in your life. For example, there is another great phrase she taught me. I am strength and power. I am strength and power. And I repeat it. I am wealthy. I am strength and power. And in this way, I was able to teach my mind that I deserve the best for me. And the last thing I want to tell you, it's a new technique, which is the biodecodification of money and business. It's a new great technique in which they believe that you are the creator of all the whole reality. You create your reality. That's it. You create the good things and you create the bad things. Remember that unconscious mind, which is the great creator, is a 95% of our mind. Our mind is led by our unconscious mind. So many people says, I want to be rich, but I am poor. So how can that be? And that's why, because your unconscious mind is absolutely related with your ancestors. That's what that techniques teach you. So if you have, they speak about the biological unconscious. There are many ways, many forms of unconscious, and there is one specific biological unconscious, which tell you whatever means life in your ancestors must be repeated. Whatever means pain or death should be avoided. So if you come from a tree of ancestor, which all your ancestors are poor, but they live lot of years, 80 years, 90 years, whenever you want to have money, there will be your unconscious, the most powerful unconsciousness you have, which will tell you can't have money, because if you have money, you will die. So this is a new technique that I'm so fascinated with this technique. In 5 sessions, each session of one session per month, 2 hours of sessions, that you decodificate all the mandates, all the beliefs it comes from your ancestor. For example, if your grandfather, when he began to gain money, he died young, or his wife died, or he was betrayed by a great love and left. The conscious, I think, right now is the most powerful. And I suggest that if you, man or woman who is listening to me right now, and your life has been a continuous struggling against poverty and against scarcity, against limited money, please try to find out someone who is working with this technique, because you will find amazing results in few sessions. So I'm studying. I've been studying all day long. I've been studying for months this technique, and I think that people should know about this technique.
So if I'm understanding well, this is basically something within us in the basement, in the very very bottom of what we understand of our mind, is responding just as a trigger to a certain situation that is in our genetic memory, that stores that information and says, hey, be careful, because this could mean you not surviving, right?
That's right. Imagine that our unconscious mind, imagine that you are in a dark place, and when you want to get money or something, you don't know where you are, you don't know how to do, and the ancestors unconscious appear big signals said, you can't have money, you can't have money. This is the ancestor, the family unconsciousness. But this family unconsciousness is linked with with Jung's humanity unconscious. They are much powerful than the family unconscious. But imagine that you are in a dark place and you do not know how to do. And signals appears and with light and said, you can't have money, you can't have money, you can't have money, you will die, you will die. What can your small unconscious, personal unconscious can do with such a big, huge information that appears from ancestors? That techniques is based on quantum physics, in Jungian's unconscious, and in the shamanism's techniques, because they think that your unconscious understand rituals much easier and much faster than speaking words. For example, if I burn a letter, you will understand that something is finished, that something disappeared. So they use shamanic rituals to make you understand that money is good for your life. And it's amazing the results they have.
You talk about shamanic rituals. You talk about how the brain apparently reacts better to experience, even a faked experience, even a reenactment experience, than what it would respond to just intellectual information. So what comes to my mind right now is that these traditions, like shamanic traditions, it's been centuries or millennia managing this type of information. So they knew the things that science is just getting to know right now. What happened?
Yeah,
why we never listened to? So when people say like your ancestors are within you, your ancestors are watching for you, it's not me. It's not metaphorically speaking. It's true. It's reality.
They said I can tell you the results I have since I began with this technique. I can, you know, that I speak about what it happened in my life. I never speak about generalities, because it's not my way of speaking with people. When I begin this technique in January, when I appear in Mindalia, I have 5,000 people watching at me, 6,000 people. When I get my degree on October last year, 53,000 people watch my video.
And that's your degree.
Do you
for
understand?
Biocodification. But your other degrees, medical degrees, it's
no, my
longer.
biocodification. Because I get my degree 27th October. I did the show in Mindalia 27th, one day after. And I have 35 right now, 1,000 visualization of this show. Explain to me, how can you do that? Because they use a method. They speak to this unconscious, powerful, unconscious mind, which can't understand the language. And I think that you may be thinking, oh, well, what happened with your teacher? You say that you repeat that. There are different techniques. But they are powerful. Both of them are powerful. But I learned the technique of my teacher 20 years ago. And right now I am learning this amazing technique. And I think that people should choose. But don't stay in your steady position. Try to find out the way you can change your reality. They think that you create your reality, that your ancestors lives in you. All the ancestors live in you. So if you are poor and you can change your poverty to wealthy, your ancestor is cured and they can go. They can be free. They can be free of. So when you cure yourself, you cure all your ancestors. You cure your life, and you cure your descendants. It's an amazing technique, and it's based on shamanic teaching of Latin America, especially, and Buddhism. They knew all
they've always known, right? What is now being understood by science, because we always have this idea that we need to measure, we need to be able to record data. But the truth is that the universe is, well, at least the truth to me, of course, it's not the truth, but the truth to me is that the universe is too big and too full of knowledge that neither our brains or the technology that we develop with our limited brains is going to be able to comprehend, at least not right now. So what if we just release the need of knowing absolutely everything?
That's great. But it's also I love studying. You love studying too. We need to know we are human. We are human in this terrifying universe that you need to understand things. But I think that sometimes you don't have to understand, as you say. You have to try. And I always say to the people, don't believe in what I say. Just try and see the results. But give yourself the opportunity, for example, to try with the phrases of my teacher, or we tried with a consultation with a biodecodificator of money, and see what's happening in your life. Give you the chance to change your reality. And when you begin to understand that you create everything, there's no responsibility. You don't put the responsibility in others. You know that you are creating the reality. For example, you can create a great boyfriend, French boyfriend, if you want. You can create whatever you want. But you have to know the technique. Sometimes people do not know how to ask, how to work. That's why I'm so happy when people comes to my courses, because I think that I may bring some lights. I have such great masters. I always said that my great fortune is the master I had in my life. And I think that it's good for the people to find, for example, to listen to Mindalia. I think that Mindalia brings amazing people, but you must know new techniques, and you must find the technique which is perfect for you. For example, I in my biography, Psychoanalysis, I treated great leaders with psychoanalytic techniques, and they gain lots of money. They have lots of money. They are wealthy and great people, great man and woman. And I use psychoanalysis. Some people will need psychoanalysis. Some people will need biodecodification. Some others will need metaphysic teachings. Find the way it's perfect for you.
What do you think is the ideal mindset when we are trying to manifest, when we are trying to precipitate something into our lives? What's the ideal? Where should we start from?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that I right now, having a biodecodificator, I go to my biodecodification sessions once a month, every month. Dealing with money, because I have my issues. I am afraid of having lots of success and then have no success anymore. That's my big issue right now. I don't need money. I am afraid of not being success. But I think that if I have to tell the people, I think that metaphysics is a great basement to begin working. You can repeat sentences like I am wealthy, I am force and power, I have faith in my wealthiness, I have faith in my new job, I have faith in finding the perfect couple for me. I think that metaphysics is simple. It's a great technique. You can paint mandalas repeating the words. You can draw, you can make what we call the map of abundance. If you want to buy a house, you can put a picture, a photograph of the house you want, and you put it in the wall, and you see it constantly. And I think that this is a great method. You think, you believe, you create. And if the people have the opportunity to And right now, what I'm doing, I have my teacher. I still stay with my teacher 3 hours a week. I study with my teacher, with metaphysics teacher, but I also have my biodecodification sessions, and I have my psychoanalytic sessions. I think that you can join all together, and it's great because they will give you different points of view in reality, and that's great. It's like eating different food. It's like, should I eat only pasta? No, you can try a salad. It's great salad. You can try the meat. I think that minds need different knowledge, and that's great because different people will give you different solution, the perfect solution for them, and you can learn from every technique. And that's, I think that's great. Mindalia is great because they show people different minds, different histories of life, different techniques. And I think that if you can try different technique, that's the best solution. But you can begin with metaphysics.
Different approaches. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of trying and finding what works for us, because maybe what works for you is not ideal for me, and vice versa, and you won't know until you try and give yourself a chance. We have a question from Sarah. She is in the United States. Where do I start when you feel like everything has gone wrong in your life? I feel I have blockages in my soul that I don't know how to get out of it. Thank you.
Oh, that's a great question, Sarah. I would like to know if you're speaking about money, if you're speaking about another issue, maybe love affairs or lack of a partner, or problems in the job with your chief. I don't know the situation, but if it is about money, which is the subject we are speaking right now, I think that what my teacher taught me, it's a great solution. Define what abundance means to you. Define your goals. What do you want to achieve in life? And then you have to face your fears, your low self-esteem, and I forgot to tell the insecurities in your life, because money is linked with security, and you have to. You don't have to link money with security. Money will never give you security. You can have a great. I attend people who had great amount of money, and they were completely insecure. So you have to find out where are your inner insecurity. You were not loved when you was a little kid. Money is not going to give you that. I mean, you can't put money in the place of lacking of love, lacking of comprehension, lacking of looking at yourself when you was growing. And the people put money in all those holes in your mind: insecurity, low self-esteem, fears. They put all the things, put money in these places. And you have to separate. No. Money is not going to give you security. Your self-esteem will give you security. The love of others will give you security. But you can also have money.
Money is a great compliment for it. Can you explain what is the difference between money and abundance? Because we tend to think it's the same. Would you mind telling us what's the difference?
Oh, that's great. No, abundance is a state of consciousness. Abundance is a state of consciousness. I found people in my life, for example, my teacher, you know that she was, when she was young, United States offered to install a huge TV, like Oprah, a huge TV chain of shows, I don't know what the exact name, which is huge, to teach in the United States. But she has to leave. There are two children. Their children. So she said no. She has a small little house in Argentina, in a not very good, lovely neighborhood in Argentina. Yeah, it's not a great neighborhood. And she's the richest person I ever met in my life, because she had the love of thousands of people. She helped, cured hundreds of people. She has the love of her daughters, the people around her, and she doesn't need much. Abundance is a state of consciousness, but she can do. She speaks with the master. I believe that she has a knowledge that I've never seen. She's one of the most intelligent people I ever seen in this planet, and she has abundance. She doesn't need much because she has so much in her inner life that you don't have to have a house of 100 rooms to be happy. Abundance is a state of consciousness, and you must find which is this perfect state of conscious for you, because maybe for me is to have a regular house, and for you is to have a small house or to have a house of 2,000 rooms. I don't know. Abundance is a state of conscious. You are not abundant if you don't have a couple if you want. You are not abundant if you have an illness.
Sarah replied, and it is about money. The question that she made is about money. That's what she wants to know about.
Yeah, I think that metaphysics is good. You have to pay mandala. You have to write down in a big paper, put in front of you. Look at this paper, write in the map of abundance, put whatever you want, money, cars, a house, a husband, whatever you want. But I think metaphysics is simple. You can practice it. I think metaphysics is a good beginning.
Thank you. And we have a question from Peru, Fiorella Cárdenas. How can I connect better with the energy of discernment? Is there any tool that you can share with us?
Oh, that's great. Lovely question, isn't it? I think that this is a question I did to my teacher when I was young. And I am going to answer you in the way she answered. She told me, Cecilia, write down all the things you did get, all the things you are, all the goals in your life you achieve. And I remember that I began to write down, for example, I get my degree, I have a husband, I have a house, I wanted to become a psychoanalyst, and I did. I began to write down all the things I did have in life. And this is a great job to begin with. You have to write down, because your mind, the minds of all of us, is going to show you all the things you lack in life. You don't get. You are a loser. Because it's a biological way of living. Because if the lion comes and you don't pay attention, you will die. So the mind pay attention to the risk and the things that you fail much more than all the things that you do have, your success. So you need to write every day if you can, for all of us, for me too. Every day we should write down all the things that we do have. And gratitude, it's important. You know that the base of wealthy is gratitude. If you should write down, I am 30 years old. Thank you because I am alive in this incredible experience, which is a human life. Thank you for being alive. I can rent a room. Thank you because I can rent a room. I can get a degree in the primary school. Thank you because I can get it. Whenever I can pay one coffee. Thank you because I can't pay one coffee. I get my salary, even though I don't like the amount of money. Thank you because I get my salary. I think that gratitude connects you with the greatness. But in your case, I will write down all the things I am, because we don't remember. We have bad memories of all the achievement, the success, the goal we get, the love we get from others. That means abundance too. If I am loved, right now, for example, I am so happy with people all over the world, and they are so loving with me, and that's a great abundance. Having someone who said, Cecilia, I remember you, I love you, thank you for your answer, I remember, I listened to your podcast. That's a great amount of abundance.
We don't celebrate each other enough, right? We're just looking and at the flaws that we may be having, and we forget that even knowing how to bake a cake, even knowing it, even sometimes I was actually, and we're about to run out of time, but earlier this week I was thinking, we don't even celebrate ourselves for waking up every day, even if we want it or we don't, getting our kids ready, bringing them to school. It's not that we don't do it from love. Of course, we do it from love, but sometimes we just feel like we can't. We are zero energy, and we still overcome sadness or overwhelming, or the problems that we may be having, and we are standing and we are strong. We don't celebrate that enough. How can we celebrate? And this is the month to celebrate, not to celebrate, to commemorate our strength and our I don't like to say fight, but our resilience. Let's close this space with a word about that, Cecilia.
I think that what you said is great. I have no words to put on it. I think you said it's great. We don't celebrate life. I was not a grateful person. I was very grateful with other people, with all my teachers, with my husband, with my kids, but not with myself. I was always in luck with myself. Up to the moment I had a cancer. And in this moment, 3 years ago, and in this moment, I begin to celebrate each moment of my life. But unfortunately, I have to pass from a severe illness to understand the gift of living. I wish that you don't have to pass what I have to pass for, because it was a terrible situation. Thank God, everything is perfect in my life right now. But right now, when I wake up, I realize the greatness that we have, just having this experience, just being alive, it doesn't matter if you suffer or not suffer. You are experienced with your own sense an amazing situation. If you believe in metaphysics, being incarnated right now in this planet is a gift. It's a gift that we deserve because of all the enormous work we've been doing during our past life. So if everyone wake up in the morning and said, "Oh, that's great! I wake up. I can take my coffee. I have a room where I can sleep. I have people who care for me." That's a gift of life, but we never see that. We are always looking for. We don't have an idea. I want to achieve this goal, and I need this, and I need that, and this is not the solution. I hope that you don't have to pass for the terrible moment I passed when I knew that I had a cancer, to be grateful to life and to say that's enough, that's great, that is abundance. Life has been so generous with me, and I was always telling to life, "Oh, that's poor, I want more, I need more," and make me to have a cancer. So I wish that people will listen to me.
Well, thank you again. We have reached the end of our conversation. Just a moment for you to say goodbye for now.
Oh, well, I love being in Mindalia. Well, I love Mirna. She's a great person. She's a great master too. I love being in Mindalia. I think that you are doing a great task for humanity. So many people write from Mindalia and speak to me how their lives changed by listening to one show that you produce, you conduct. So I think that being here, it's a gift of the universe. Thank you so much.
We are very grateful too that we have you with us and that you share with us your time and your knowledge. To the people that joined us today, all our gratitude, all our heart. Remember, Mindalia.com is an international organization, an international non-profit organization, and that you can collaborate with us just by liking, subscribing, following our content. Every time you interact with Mindalia, we reach more and more people around the planet. All our love a very big hug, and we will see you again in the next Mindalia live streaming. Bye.